Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amanda. I planned on doing like a chatty get ready with me, and I guess it's still gonna kind of be that to show you like my full face routine, but there was stomping and music and everything, so it sounded like we were having a party in the house, so I have to do a voiceover. I apologize for that, but it's still kind of a chatty get ready with me. So I'm just doing my brows with some MAC Shape and Shade, and this is in the shade Spiked. I kind of do my routine backwards. I do my brows first, and then I do my cream contour products and everything like that. So I'm just going to take you through the whole routine, and I wanted to do some sort of like festive eye look to kind of get in the mood for Christmas. So I take my ABH cream contour and I put it out on the back of my hand just to warm it up, and then I use this MODA Pro brush, probably not the way it's supposed to be used, but it works good enough for this, and just sort of blend that out on my face. It looks really orange right now, but remember, we're going to go in with our foundation over the top of this. So this is going to kind of be the contour and bronzer. I'll go in with a darker step in here in a second. So I just blend, blend, blend. And what's nice about this is if you mess up, you can just wipe it off. You can't get too crazy. And I find that the contour doesn't get as muddy when I do it this way. And also, you can go as hard as you want and cover it up if you have to. And if you have a full coverage foundation, you might either want to sheer it out or go even heavier with the contour. I noticed that my skin during the winter is getting a lot more dry and it's needing a lot different products. So this all cream sort of product routine has actually really been making my skin not only look more natural, just more healthy in general. So that's kind of why I have started doing this for the winter time in these dry months. So next, I'm just going to go in with that darker contour shade and sort of chisel out my cheekbones here. Might look crazy now, but I promise a lot of it will be kind of toned down once we go over that. I'm still blending. Oh, so yeah, see? Here we go. Right here. I clean up the mess so it doesn't look so crazy. Sort of just creating a shadow of where the hollows of my cheekbone would be. And I'm still blending. I do take a lot of time on this, but also right now is what you can do with the cream products is just kind of cover up any blemishes that you have. I don't use this cream like concealer under my eyes because I have good old fine lines and wrinkles. So if I use this heavy of a product under my eyes, I will get major creasing. So it's kind of just good for covering up little spots, or you can do that with your concealer as well. Whatever you wish to do. I've had this contour palette for a long time, so I'm kind of bringing back out some of my old products. This I just had. If you have any recommendations for good cream blush, let me know because this is the only one I had. And it's actually working kind of nicely. I haven't touched this probably since I got it, but I'm using this IT Cosmetics little brush to kind of blend that into my contour and keep that on the apples of my cheek. Gives me a nice little wintry blushed effect. And I actually kind of like it. I didn't think I was going to like it the first time I tried it, but it was the only one I have. So yeah, like I said, let me know if you have any recommendations for a cream blush because I was in the drugstore the other day and I could not find anything. I probably just need to order something online. And for highlights, I have a couple options here. These are some of the ones that I've been using. But for this look, we're going to go in with these Cover FX little, I can't remember what drops these are, but I'll look it up. I kind of went crazy with this. I applied a lot. And I put these on all the high points of my face, and then I use my finger to blend these out and soften them because I don't want to get the stuff all over my beauty blender or my brush. So I use my finger, and that way, if there's a lot of excess product on here, I can just wipe it onto my paper towel to get rid of the excess. It's kind of nice. Works out well like that. Still blending, blending, blending. And I edited out a lot of blending, so there's a lot of it that goes on here. See, I kind of wipe it off there. And it also helps to kind of drag the excess to other spots, but then to kind of blend that into your bronzer and contour, because if you don't, there will be a like very obvious line where it stops. You're still going to cover this up with foundation, so if you feel like it's too much, don't worry. And I'm going to use the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation, and I have no idea what shade this is in. Probably some sort of neutral light shade. I'm just going to put this on the back of my hand and I dot it all over my face. And I like to work in sections with this Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation. You don't have to, it doesn't dry down super fast, but just to make sure I got everything blended out really nicely. This is the IT Cosmetics Complexion Perfection Foundation Globe. It's a very dense brush. This is my favorite foundation brush because it's so dense it doesn't pick up a lot of the product. Well, it does, but it puts it back down, and I don't have to like brush with the brush. I can just dab and dab, and it doesn't move any of the products underneath, so it works really, really well for that. Actually, my sister-in-law gave this to me. She didn't like it, and I'm in love with it. I'm absolutely in love with it. So I'm very happy to have this brush. So we're just going in, working in sections. And this, I think that's the Heavenly Luxe number 7 brush. That one's nice because I use the other end for concealer, as you'll see here shortly. And I use that brush on my forehead just because I don't want to mess up my brows, so I can be a little more precise. And then I smooth everything out with my Beauty Blender. For concealer, I'm using the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. I just apply a little, and then I'm going to use the other end of that IT Cosmetics brush, and I'm going to drag it more down and across. I want as little product to be directly under my eye as possible since I do have fine lines. Too much product will lead to more creasing. So I immediately blend that out with the Beauty Blender and apply this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder right away so I don't get any creasing. I like to dab this on with the Beauty Blender, and then you'll see here in a second I kind of smooth it out with the brush. I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out this whole thing. I always get creasing, so this is the least creasing I have found with this little technique. And I also like to go through and sort of powder any areas that I normally get greasy. Then I go in with my Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour palette and just sort of set that cream contour. I go very lightly. I just want to set it and add any contour that may have disappeared with the foundation. Then I just use this Tarte blush. I like to use a duo fiber synthetic brush because you don't put too much down, and then I add blush into other spots of my face just to add some more color. So sometimes I do my eyes first, but today we're doing them last. I'm priming my eyes with Tarte Shape Tape and then going with the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm starting with the shade Pukey and placing that as my transition shade and blending that out. I'm using an M433 brush. Then I go in with the shade Mocha and I'm just sort of deepening the crease. And then I'm going in with this shade Jax on an M456 brush, and I'm placing this on the outer corner and blending it in like halfway through the crease. And I spend a lot of time doing this, a lot of time placing the product down and blending it out and placing it down and blending it out to get more of a gradient effect. Now here is my little secret. I use these Cover FX glitter drops to sort of cut the crease with. Now it's not going to give you quite like the white base you might want, but if you didn't place a lot of shadow on that part of your lid, this works great for it. Plus it's a little more liquidy, so I just find it a little bit easy to work with. So I'm using my Bodyography Pro brush, cutting the crease, and then we're going to go in with the shade Diva here soon. And I also put this on the brush since it's already a little bit wet. It sets down, it sticks to the brush and sets down nicely. So I place that over the Cover FX drops, and also like the glitter background kind of helps, you know, if you're using a glittery, shimmery shade. And then I'll go in with my finger to sort of amp up the pigmentation a little bit. And I'm blending this into the outer corner, and then I'll go back in with that shade Jax, and we'll sort of play back and forth between the two shades to get them to blend together nicely. Now I'm going to take the shade Mocha and use that to deepen up the crease. I'm using a little pencil brush from ABH Cosmetics. It's my favorite pencil brush. And I'm also dragging that on top of the green shade to sort of deepen that area. And I'll go back with that M456 and our transition shade to blend that out and sort of diffuse that line. And for the lower lash line, we're pretty much going to do the same thing all over again. Starting with the shade Pukey and placing that all over the lower lash line. And then we're going to go in with the shade Jax and smudge that against the lower lash line. And then I'll go in with the shade Diva and on this little angled brush and placing that halfway across the lid, and then I'm using the shade Abyss. It's a nice dark green to sort of line my lash line. Kind of fits our little Christmassy theme. Then I was getting some fallout, so I went ahead and placed some powder down so I could wipe that away later. Then I went back in with the shade Jax and blended it out and went in and smudged the green, placed some liner down. I started on the outer half and I ended up going all the way. That's kind of normal for me. Using this NYX Epic Ink liner to create a wing, and I created a really small wing. And for my inner corner, first I went in with the shade in Light to get that white base, and then the shade Beam to really get a glow. And I also used the shade Beam as highlight on my brow bone and my cheekbone, and I also went in with the Amrezy and kind of went over the top. I brushed away the powder, applied some Buxom Lash Mascara, these 37-cent Ardell Natural Lashes, placed them on there, some lower lash line mascara. I went in with this L'Oreal lip liner, I don't know the shade of it, and lined my lips, and then I went in with a Sephora lipstick, I don't know the shade, and some Morphe Set and Spray, what is it called? Setting Mist. And that's it, you guys. That is it for this look. I hope you enjoyed my festive little Christmassy look. Can't believe I didn't even film an outro, but I hope you have a wonderful day and will be the reason someone smiles today. Bye!